Thank you for joining us in the Krank. Damian Bobo Bowen.
Boom. Get about.
Wonderful 2015 releases so far. 4 days.
Yeah, 4, yeah.
You've been in this business for quite a while now, and over time, you've seen your music progress, and it's not like what other people can do. Tell me about the Bobo style.
Yeah, thanks, man. Well, the style is just basically to add to the flavors that already exist to crop over. Crop over is a beautiful season where you get a lot of flavors coming from a lot of artists, and a lot of guys have their own voice, tones, and styles. My quest is just to add to that part, and to add a different flavor to what I see existed. And over time it has become more and more of who I am. So, you know, with time comes experience, and yes, a little easier, you know? So, yeah, man.
We're in 2015. Tell us about the 4 offerings for this year. My favorite of them, Biggity Bow! Coconuts. The jungle. Tell us about the jungle.
Well, the jungle boy, woman is boss. They're not secret, woman is boss. And in the soca jungle, they're the ruling tribe. They're the tribe where we go to see. They're the tribe that influence how much money is spent at the bar. You know what I mean? And they're really the dancing queens. You know? It started from Nelliot. Nelliot sent me an awesome rhythm. He's an awesome producer.
How's it like working with him?
Crazy, because with those guys now, it's like, imagine here's a producer who's on a quest to be distinctive in his own right, and who's a weirdo in his own right too, and teams up with this artist as another weirdo and tries to, so you get 2 forces combining that kind of, you know, it's very explosive. I enjoy it to the max, and we always had a good relationship getting back from school. I know it was kind of like a big brother thing back in that Comber time, you know, and you know, that transcended. I always had a lot of respect for him as a drummer. In fact, coming up I used to call him Drummer Boy. So for us, Belly Top is also the fulfillment of years of, you know, brotherly support and what's not. Anything now, what we have is a professional product. So,
as they say, the student has become the teacher.
Yes, boy. Crazy stuff, man, crazy stuff.
I have a love for the piece, the collaboration you've done this year with Smokey Bear.
Yes, thank you.
My favorite line, you got in drinks. I feel that woman just look at me and wink. But how can that lady look at you and wink when she's wearing shades? How did that? I am interested in your writing style, especially. How did that come about?
Well, boy, I have one right here. You know, I'm right here in this patio. What happened is that, you know, Smokey is an awesome writer as well. Again, it's a combination of awesome forces. Here you have a guy who's an awesome writer, a very clever writer, a very intelligent writer, and a very meticulous writer, Smokey Burgess. And we came together, and in developing the concept for the song, it was important for us to, you know, get some measure of comedy and really personify it, place us in effect with drinks. You know, I want master heard that man see she no kiss at me and give me a wink, and oh my gosh, shit, you know what I mean? But it could be twofold, because it could be that man is so bad and woman actually gave him a wink, or it could be his partner is actually so hurt that he looking at a different woman that got shades.
Point taken.
You understand? So for us it was, you know, so many things just happen, and I am blessed to work with some of the most creative minds in Barbados, and whenever I combine with them, greatness, stuff happens, man.
Trouble. You released that earlier this week.
Defense,
sorry.
yeah.
You released Defense earlier this week. I haven't had the chance to really, as I like to do, critique it.
Yeah.
But I love the rhythm, I love the vibe.
Yeah.
Help me to talk me through Defense.
Well, Defense is it's like a story of a woman putting up defense to a man going out that like to go to every we call it cat dog fight.
Every cat and dog fight.
Every cat and dog fight. So here's a man who likes to go to every cat and dog fight. I like to jump up, I like to walk up. Once there's a jump up, I there. Once there's a walk up, look for me. So anywhere there's a jump up, look for this man. Anywhere there's a walk up, look for me. I don't leave home without deodorant, so she knows that he likes to leave home fresh.
She hates it.
So she hides it. She sits down on his roll on. Right? She also hides the soap and the toothpaste.
Yeah.
But she sits down on his roll on.
Let's not forget she hated the phone.
She hated the phone too. She hated Samsung. But she sat down on his roll on and to try to get him to stay home. Mm-hmm. And that whole defense vibe now is, don't leave without your defense. Little, subliminal public service announcement, make sure you don't leave home without your defense. Yeah. She put it up a defense, bring it back from her, fling it back from her. So we kind of give a semi-double entendre, dual perception of the tune defense. And of course, my name is an awesome producer again, another very creative individual. And we teamed up. And when we teamed up, it was awesome because the defense is a popular, chant for sports.
Defense.
Correct.
Especially in football.
Correct.
And basketball.
And in basketball. We now come over to the NBA season. And we just thought it was very timely to bring a track like that and bring that level of vibe. And who knows where it could go.
One thing that I've had some issues with, and I love the fast music. I love the whole idea of the party and the bashment circuit. But what I've found lacking, and there are those who might be watching this that would say that, oh, who's Ryan Jones? He isn't the expert when it comes to music. He didn't even have a music degree. But in terms of lights, I love a good social commentary. I love a witty, well-written song that causes me to think. Maybe it's the law school in me. And you have been able to personify this in terms of your writing. I'm going to go back to Boat. Boat is the song that I consider to be my anthem.
Yeah, man.
Especially when you're on the boat, and it brings real life scenarios to the fore, brings it to life. Help our viewers, our readers, our listeners for that matter. Talk us through the process that you go through when you sit down to write a song. And at this point I got to shout out the guys at Renegade Studios for
coconut jelly.
Coconut jelly.
Boy, it begins sometimes with the rhythm. Constantly replaying it, not trying to jump into a song. Sometimes I might spend a week just trying to find a concept that feels fresh. Many people don't know that the end product usually is the result of continuous rejection of ideas that would have come up prior. So very often what you hear is more probably the best out the lot, or you understand me. And I think taking time is important. I've never been one to subscribe into going into the studio and just creating something off the bat. I do think I'm capable of it, but to me, does it represent my best for me personally? So I like to take time. Taking time for me to work on my stuff and what I bring is very important. And then as the melodies start, I think there's something in us all of us. Once you love music, right? You made a point about music degree. I mean, I don't have one either, but I sure create some better melodies in my career than people who probably got a master's in it. So sometimes, I mean, we all have a radar that tells us when something is working, it feels good. Sometimes you get goosebumps. Sometimes it just brings a smile on your face. But music always has a way of either touching you positively or it might rub you real hard the wrong way. You know what I mean?
But one thing that you understand about music is that it sets the tone for our lives, because it puts us to sleep. For some people, it wakes us up in the morning. it sets our mood, it sets our feel.
Better believe it.
That being the case, I want to, and we had this discussion earlier last week, and you accused me of being the one to start controversy.
But
that said, I gotta ask a question as it relates to rhythms.
Yeah.
We're hearing within the last 3 to 5 years, a number of artists coming out writing a rhythm, and we hear the exponents of the art form speaking out about, oh, you can't do this, you're losing the feel, you're losing this. I wanted to give me your take on the whole idea of having a rhythm for soca. We heard a lot of reggae, but soca?
Yeah, I love rhythms in soca. I don't know why anybody would have a problem with rhythm in soca. To me, what just be careful there. Right? What rhythms represent is an opportunity for vast interpretation on a common platform. I like to hear I like to hear a one rhythm playing sometimes, and you got different guys just coming in with different flavors on top of the same existing rhythm. A rhythm is a demonstration very often of the beauty of music, and in how on one common canvas different artists can paint different pictures. I don't see why somebody would have a problem with rhythms. To me, both of them have their place. The presence of rhythms gives a greater appreciation for the presence of singles, because after you play a rhythm and you get some good singles behind it, it feels like a good mix. I know DJ will tell you he likes to come and play just rhythm. You know, they like to have that mix too. So
what I find is misunderstood as far as rhythms are concerned. You and in another forum you spoke about this as well. You would have 5 artists on one rhythm, and for crop over, 2 of those artists on this rhythm would be a hit in Barbados. They get to Trinidad in December, January following year, and the 3 that be in Barbados, like, they get an opportunity, and the rhythm itself propels those artists to a new level.
of course.
So my question is, and this is where I guess the controversy will come. When you look at the competitions that they have, is there a place for those rhythms to be in competition, given the popularity of a particular rhythm? Because I might have a rhythm called the Dub Fox rhythm. You might have a rhythm called the Joe Blow rhythm. And I find that one day in Sweet Soca or whatever the case may be, I have 6 rhythm tunes, and everybody else different rhythm or whatever. Is there room, or is it something that we need to consider or rework?
Well, see, the thing is, this whole you know me, this competition thing. Because this competition thing is not always in the best interest of creativity, right? However, if you look at expanding the season beyond just a season,
June to August.
Correct. Rhythms are the key. Because a rhythm is a cost-effective product for the studio and for the artist. If you want to take soca outside and play soca in Barbados, let's say in September, and continue to have a 1 or 2 fete a month and whatnot, and actually expand our industry beyond and let crop over. I would love to see the when crop over becomes that celebration, that cyclical celebration, that we've come a full year of soca, and here we are now at our celebratory point.
We had been the same 55 million, but why is it that we can only generate this 55 million between June and August?
Because everybody wants a sound, because everybody wants a sound to compete. What I'm saying is that sound concept was kill it, because when you come out of the season now, you have, let's say, a low season. A a song does not become an economical option because you are going to pay what $2,000 for a song to play and perform with. You understand?
Yeah.
What these guys need to do is to embrace the economies of scale that comes with a rhythm. A rhythm presents an opportunity for many artists to spend less and become involved in a commodity.
Understood.
Right? Number two, what the rhythm also represents is bargaining power. Because if you say to me that soca is not played by the DJs outside of Krakow, they're going to go back to dub and what's not, and you ain't going to get no space for soca. Imagine you have a rhythm. Imagine a rhythm coming out in September, October with Rick, Bag, Edwin, Alison, Mikey, Bobo, this body, thing, bum, in your face. You understand?
Yeah.
What you going to do, not play that?
Point taken.
You understand you going to not play that rhythm in October? Yeah.
But that's my problem, because we only come. You might have. All right, let's look at Trinidad. Carnival in Trinidad is a year-round event. It's cyclical. Cropover in Barbados is since. Well, I use the example of Blood. Blood and the others have now started taking to May Day as the unofficial start of the 20 whatever Cropover Festival in Barbados, because then May Day you get all this music coming out. Yeah?
Yeah, it's no the day after reggae on the hill.
Right? Because we have a reggae season.
And as soon as the hill ends,
you have
songs come out is very next, you know. Yeah,
right? I can understand that. Background in radio, I can understand that. But why is it that come the second week of August after Cropover, you find that a number of radio stations, okay, we'll be going back to our reggae format, our regular format, I should say, not reggae, that's a bluff. You know, and it's...
I can't fault them for that. Let me tell you why I can't fault them for that. You take a music, a genre, and you say to people, you can only have it in this quantum once a year. And you say to them, this is all you will hear for the next month and a half. Now come on, we deal with music. There's no music in the world that monopolizes everything for a month.
Agreed, but I'm
right?
not saying...
But what I'm saying, if you appreciate the fact people like music, when you monopolize soca for a month, there will be an overwhelming demand for something different the next month, because all you are giving me is XYZ. I would like to see the day when we can have soca standing up next to dancehall throughout the year.
But understand, I am not saying that we need to have, as they do now, come the second to last week of June, right down to Kadooment Day, that we have a day where a period of time where we're 100% soca. I'm saying that we need to give soca music, calypso music in general, its due. If we look at the Trinidadian format, soca, calypso, it is their life. It is what they eat. It is what they sleep. So my thing is, why is it that we cannot, as Barbadians, embrace a similar format?
But Trinis love dancehall. Dancehall artists get gigs in dancehall, reggae, R&B, like any other, you know. Don't get twisted. But in every carnival, what happens is that you do a clap, you give them the soca, and then people will want more. There's no human being that can be fed a constant diet of one thing for a particular period and not want a mix after. Soca doesn't die after, you know.
I'm not saying that it does, but it seems, I guess it is the perception of it. There's this perception that when Cropover is done, you have people say, I carry the hand down, let me hear something else. And then you go down the line after August, September, October, November, you would hear it, but you hear the nation building songs, God bless women, Independence Day, go down that line. Then it's the most wonderful time of the year. You get Christmas coming inside there, and then you start the cycle again, where in February you have the Trini Soca being released, and you continue that wave until Lent. then you go all somber, then it's reggae season, then there's soca. I guess what I'm trying to say is that maybe we need to put our soca a little bit higher than it's rated right now.
Yeah, I mean, I would fully agree with you on that. I think too that in the way that we phase our soca in, I think that right now the guys are coming out in April, and the radio stations. Once upon a time, radio stations used to respond in June, and you would actually get more soca being played in June, soca ratio wise, at this stage than it is played now across all stations. Because I remember when there was the advent of the Soca-holics campaign and what's not, it was about who can be the most soca crazed family. Remember that was the era when they were one with soca junkie and what's not. And you had 10 to 10 fets and all kind of. So it was about
the rat fat as well.
Correct. So it was about, you know, that, and I believe back then, June, we would have been having a lot more soca ratio wise than we do now. So things, you know, things have changed to that degree. I think that the artists are a little. We need the radio stations to respond a little better to us, because you have a situation where you probably have at least 100 to 200 songs by May. You know?
Yeah.
By
Blood
May.
alone. From ever remember.
But people don't catch Blood. I mean, I salute to Blood. You know, had nice, you know, respect and thing. But everybody don't pick up that Blood program. Nobody in Land Blood come out alone anymore.
Yeah.
You understand me?
Especially putting out 50 and 60 songs.
Of course. So it is. People saw what happened with Contour, and when them horses get away, you can't catch them. So a lot of studios have pulled up their socks and gone to the days where guys wait till July, I think, to come out. You know, guys, I mean, almost everybody out now.
You come out in June, July, you've missed the boat.
In today's world, I mean, back in the day when it was young, a lot young, I think right in the first hold back sounds, you know, and
it's not holding back anymore.
No, boy, that is done, boy. Then they ask Rick, you think Rick will hold back a song and decide he coming out in July? It's tough. You have to come out early.
Now, with your expansive repertoire, have you ever thought about producing an album or a thank you concert or whatever the case be, a tribute concert, I should say?
It's something that we have to consider from a concert standpoint and from an album standpoint. You see, the challenge is that at the point when we were considering album sales globally have just, you know, and we've seen the decline and closing of many record stores in Barbados and what's not. So it would be more a venture, you know, based on dreams than based on business sense. You know what I mean? From an album standpoint right now. However, I would not like to leave this earth without some comprehensive mastered collation of what I would have developed over time. So to me, that's inevitable. It's just a matter of when. And then from a concert standpoint, yeah man, eventually we continue to build the brand, build the Biggity Boa, build the fan base a little more, you know, and when time right, get something.
Alright. I'm done grilling you, as it were, on the festival, unless there's something else you want to add.
Nice.
No. But tell us a little bit about Damian Bobo Bowen. Who is he?
Boy, a man who's seen it all, been through many trials and tribulations. Hold my head above the water and continue to keep throwing the punches, you know, no matter what challenges are put before me. Proud father too. Love that little one. Sweet for theirs, boy. Let me snort this morning to get ready for school. Cheese on, boy. I got, you know what, you know, you set a bad example. I set a bad example with the 2-year-old. Because I got to stand out that every time he put on school clothes, it got to be a fight. So he's supposed to fight me against it and kick off, and he try to point under it, kick off. Cheese on, boy. When some mornings they don't want to fight. Just want you to put your foot.
2 boys, I know how it goes.
So, but yeah, man.
What I like about Bobo is a family man, and if you listen to Bobo's music, you can tell that, because I can comfortably play any one of your songs, whether it be in the soca genre, social commentary. Although I look forward to the day when you actually get back into that. Are you going to get back into that?
Boy, I feel again each year I'm getting closer to it. I can't tell you, like, each year getting closer to it, man.
But you're not a stranger to that.
Nah,
because you've written.
Yeah, man. And I've come close in an indirect capacity, you know, from True Blood and Adrian.
Yes.
Yeah, and you know, something that I really need to start looking.
And going back to what I was saying, it seems as though when you listen to your music, there is this feel as you not only are entertained, but you learn something. Is that something that is very important to you at this time, especially with these kids?
Yeah, man. It's very important that not necessarily that not every song probably would, you know, come up with something that you learn, but something that you realize. I like my music to be thought provoking. Is that you like good movies? You like a movie that challenges. You probably want, like, you know, what you might like comedy where somebody just run and fall on you just laugh, you know. Yeah, you know. So I like stuff that deep, and I like to.
Makes you think.
Yeah, it makes you think, makes you ponder, and I like that when you play the song the second time, this will be something you grasp.
Stopping you all the time.
That you think, yeah. I don't watch many movies twice, but the few ones I do, I realize that in every one, I grasp something new the second and the third time.
What's your favorite movie?
Boy, that's a real good question, boy. I mean, that is a real good. I watch a lot of good ones already. I really don't have a favorite. I like a lot. Man. I like a lot. I like anything with Denzel. I like Johnny Depp. You know, I like to see most Quentin Tarantino flicks. Most. And then they got some guys that when Morgan Freeman, Kevin Costner. They got. I just like the fact. I just like to see good actors in good flicks continuing to maintain their standard. Of Brad Pitt. I like when you see the guys in. I don't like the fake stuff where guys jump from roof and flip over. Nothing. So sometimes Tom Cruise make me say cheese on very Tom. But I like that when guys do stuff with plot, and I like stuff like that. Yeah.
Now we hear a lot about artists. Like when you ask them, "What's your favorite kind of music?" There are those who are quick to say, "Oh, if I'm singing in the genre of stuff, I like calypso. If I'm singing in the genre of reggae, oh, I love reggae." What is your favorite genre of music? How do you unwind?
That's an excellent question. Can I tell you that I kind of have favorites in categories? So, for example, the type of music that I like to write the most and I find comes most naturally to me is soca. So, from a composition standpoint, not that I don't or can't write reggae, but in terms of that comfort zone and how rhythm that beats within me is soca. Put me in effect, and I love to go in effect and hear some reggae. I can be real. I don't mind hearing soca, you know. I party soca, I crank, I party to anything. But reggae and dancehall very often I go out and hear. That would be my favorite sometimes when I'm out. I will party in a soca fete all night and don't feel any way. And then if we're talking about a day that I just driving, you know, just cruising or just by myself, just taking a little breeze, I think, you know, and I get some real thought-provoking alternative around I might put on Mix 96 or something, so on. I listen to all stations, you know. I listen to something I never heard that I now have to listen to hear. I'm like, jeez on. I love that.
I think that you're seeing now, and you mentioned mix and alternative and so on, you're seeing a lot of fusion in the art form, huh? I remember Roller Coaster last year. Was it Roller Coaster? Yes, Roller Coaster last year, we went past it by. This year he's spontaneous. And as you listen to it, there are those underarching notes where you get a little bit of the heavy rhythm because Big Up Red Boys and on a lot of music that they're doing especially. But is there a place, as it were, for fusions?
Yeah, man.
In the music?
Yeah, man. Fusions represent the best opportunity to tap into the international markets. If you look at the restaurants across Barbados, many of them don't just say we offer West Indian, or we offer just this or that. So you will find some catering particularly, but most of the big restaurants are fusions, or restaurants that offer fusions between different regions and hemispheres. So fusions are the key.
Okay.
I support fusions 400%. I think that a fusion must not be to the relegation of your core art. It must be a fusion. So understand that when I say fusion, I don't mean taking 90% dub, put a horns man playing, and 10 minutes that's fusion. You know what I'm saying? Fusion has to be, and when you talk about Bygone, Red Boys, salute to Minim, Nellius, those guys, fusion, Monster Piece, you know, those guys, very often guys are very particular about how they fuse elements, you know what I mean? Chris Salmon, my musical godfather, he is a boss at it. He's a boss, and as he continues to grow and as years go by, he becomes more experienced. He doesn't stick within his zone and say, "I've been doing this for years. Let me keep doing this. This is way." He continues to evolve and to let fusions and different elements guide him. So I like fusions. I love fusions. Just like I love Chris Salmon, my musical godfather. I just gotta say that again because I don't talk about me now. Yeah, man. If not for that, man, seriously.
Now, as we wrap up, what would you like to tell the Barbadian public, the regional public, the international public that will be viewing this, that are viewing this right now, about Bobo in terms of his progression then, now, and beyond?
Shape true trials. Shape true trials. Disappointment has always been part and parcel of life, you know. In life, everybody has their ups and downs. I try not to focus on the downs, but give thanks for the ups. You know that kind of way?
Yeah, I get where you're coming from.
Yeah, so I would say it's not necessarily that the road has been always smooth along the way, or, you know, that it's always been, you know, the same kind of vibe, but I continue to do my thing, man. I hold my own.
Well, let me say thank you for joining us. As usual, it's a pleasure. Always having a good chat.
Alright.
Thank you, Reds.
Cool. Respect, man.
Cheers.